morning, campers. I'm just leaving the October Mountain Shelter. I stopped there last night rather than going on to the K Woods Shelter for a few reasons. Number one, it was a 9-mile day, and I got there about 1:15 or so, and it would have been another 9 miles to the K Woods Shelter. Number two, it was supposed to start raining at some point, although that forecast kept getting pushed back and back and back. It didn't start raining until like midnight. So I could have easily made it to the K Woods Shelter probably by between 6 and 7. But I knew the K Woods Shelter was going to have at least 4 other people there. So I thought that might get a little crowded. It was also so close to Dalton, only 3 miles, that I was going to get into Dalton at 10 a.m. Even if I, dawdled in the morning and left late. And what was I going to do? I can't check in the motel until 2. What am I going to do in Dalton or Pittsfield? My clothes are filthy. I stink. Sweaty. I can't shower. I can't do my laundry. A lot of places weren't open on Monday. In Dalton, the laundry wasn't open. Some restaurant wasn't open. Anyway, I just said, the hell with it. I'll make 2 medium days instead of 1 long and 1 short day. It would have been like a 17-mile day yesterday and a 3-mile day today, or like a 9-mile day yesterday and a 12-mile day today. So that's what I decided to do. I saw the terrain profile looked pretty easy. Not a lot of big ups and downs. Fairly level. A lot of tree roots and rocks, though. Pennsylvania is known for its rocks. That's why they call it Rocksylvania. Well, Massachusetts should be known for its roots. I'm coining a new term, Massa-rootsits. Tree roots crisscrossing the trail everywhere, and they're not only hard like rocks, but they're slippery when they're wet, so you gotta be careful on them. So anyway, that's my plan. Hoping to get to Dalton. It's just a little bit before 7 a.m. Hoping to get to Dalton by 1 o'clock. There's a sub place just a block down from the post office. I'll probably grab a sub for lunch. Maybe recharge my phone a little bit while I'm in there. Go to the post office, get my resupply box, and then see if I can't get an Uber to the hotel, which is about maybe 2 miles from the post office. Better than walking down a busy road for 2 miles. Any event, I'll check back in later, let you know how it's going. I'm here at the infamous Cookie Lady, right off the Appalachian Trail. Doesn't look like they're open yet. It's 7:45 in the morning. So, Blueberry Hill, you can see the sign. You come here and pick your own berries. I'm not going to wait around. I'm not that hard up for a cookie. And it's less than 100 yards off the trail. But I wanted to check it out. I thought if someone's there, I'll have a cookie, But you gotta walk down this highway to get to it off the trail. So I'm gonna keep going, push on to Dalton. I just wanted to poke my head over there and check it out. So it's kind of nice that they do that. Hey gang, I'm in my Econolodge room in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, taking a 0 day. It's been a busy day. I didn't get anything done yesterday. I didn't get in until about 3:30 after a 2.2-mile road walk in the sun with my full backpack on, which had over 6 pounds of beer in it. And I was carrying an 8-pound or so resupply box under my arm the whole way. So I was pretty bushed. I just came in, I just showered, did my laundry, relaxed, ordered a pizza, and caught up on emails. But I want to show you what I have to do now. So right here, this is my current sleeping bag that I'm using, my sleeping bag / quilt. It's an Enlightened Equipment convert quilt, but I'm going to send that home now. I have swapped that out for this. I've already compressed it. This is also an Enlightened equipment, but this is only a quilt. This does not convert into a sleeping bag like this one does. So this compresses down more. It's lighter. It's about 3/4 of a pound lighter. It's about 12 ounces lighter than this thing, and it's a 30-degree quilt, whereas this is a 20-degree quilt slash bag. So summertime is here. It's hot out. It's only getting down to like the 50s at night. I was really getting sweaty under this thing, and although this is a 30-degree, not much warmer than, or I should say, not much cooler than this. This is 20 degrees, so it's going to be warmer for you. The 10-degree difference, it's a bit smaller. It's not as wide, and it's only a quilt, so there will be a little bit more airflow under it, a little bit more drafty. I'll be able to kick my leg out and whatnot, so I'll set that aside. But here's my dilemma. I have to get this compressed into this. This is a compression bag, and I got to fit it either into a U.S. Postal Service large flat rate priority mailbox or into this box, which I just bought at Walmart. I thought this might work better because even though it's shorter on one end, it's taller. So when I compress this down, see, I figured this was kind of going to be, this was not going to compress, it was going to be too wide, even if I lay it out this way. So I'm going to give it a shot. We'll see what works best. I'm thinking this is what's going to work, though. It's a little bit flimsier box. It's thinner cardboard, but this is soft. This isn't going to get damaged. So we'll see how I do and give it a shot. Okay, so which box won? These are the two boxes. Postal Service box and the box from Walmart. And the box that won was the box from Walmart. Yeah, it fit in here much better. Take it out and show you why. If I put it in there, you can see it's quite a bit higher. I can't squish it down sideways. It's already compressed so much that I can't flatten it enough to get it in there. I mean, I could, but it would be the box would be bulging. But in here, it's great. I can fold it up, no problem. Still room for other stuff in there. So I made the right call getting this box. So that worked out great. So there you have it. Well, as much as I hated to do it, I decided to get a new pair of trekking poles at Walmart because I broke mine. One of them snapped, and I had enough still in there that I could use them. I had to shorten them by about an inch and a half, so they were still usable. So I got these at Walmart. They're very similar. They're also carbon fiber. The thing I don't like about them, two things. Number one, the strap up here, it's adjustable, but you have to pull this through, and there's no way to really tighten it. Once you've pulled the strap through, you just pull it through like this, and it shortens up the loop. This one, you have a top that opens up. You can adjust it, pull the loop through, and then clamp that down, and it locks it in place. I like that feature a lot. The other feature I like, this has the aluminum clamps on it, much sturdier than these plastic. These are just pieces of plastic, this white plastic. So I'm gonna have to be a little careful with these that I don't over crank them. But they extended the same length. They both, as you can see, have the foam grip for the choking up on uphills. They both have the cork handles. Overall pretty similar. These were $44 something, so about $45. These you can get on mono price for $50. That's their normal price. I've gotten them as cheap as $35 on sale. They'll go on sale sometimes for $40. I like them, except like I said, I broke one. So anyway, but I needed a new pair in the pinch. These are usable for hiking. They're just not usable for putting my tent into what's called freestanding mode, which is something I need to do when I pitch my tent on a wooden tent platform. Some campsites have wooden tent platforms, which is much nicer than pitching it in the dirt. Number one, your tent stays cleaner. You have a very level surface, flat surface. You don't have to worry about roots and rocks and things damaging your ground cloth or your tent. So I really decided I needed the full length extension on those trekking poles. And I also, I was just worried I was going to further damage the one that was already broken. It was kind of just working as it was, and I thought, boy, if I push it a little too much, it might further deteriorate, and that'll be with only one pull. So that's what I decided to do. I'm here in the bathroom of my Econolodge room, and you've seen me on the trail with this small, I guess it's a smart water bottle on my shoulder, little pocket right there. You're probably wondering, why do I carry that little bottle instead of one of these big bottles? Well, number one, I just don't want a bottle sticking up on my face. If this was in my pocket, you know, it'd be like right here when I'm walking around. It'd be... But here's the other reason. Let me turn this around and show you the sink. So when it comes time to fill up a bottle, this bottle can fit right under there. This bottle can't get it under there. Too big, too tall. I could not fill this at the sink. Those bottles are very hard to fill at the sink. These bottles, much easier. So anyway, that's something that a lot of people don't think about until they go to fill up the water bottle and they can't get it under the faucet. So I could, if I needed to, fill the small one twice and then pour that into the big one and then refill the small one again. It's just a little more flexible. It's less weight on my shoulder strap. It's easier to sip. It's just all around just a better solution for me. So, just thought I'd share that. Shopping at the Stop and Shop for some food for my resupply. So let's see what I can find here. Yeah, some carrots. And a salad kit. Okay, I've done my resupply shopping for the next leg of my trip. I've got my resupply food, some of my dinners. I went to Stop and Shop and got most of what you're about to see. And then I went to Walmart and filled in a few little odds and ends that I couldn't get at Stop and Shop. So let me show you what I've got. Got it spread out on the hotel bed here. I got my wraps. And those are flax, oat bran, and whole wheat. So trying to be healthy on the trail. Not trying to get the refined white flour type of wraps. I've got 6 dinners here that I had pre-made at home. So 6 dinners. I've got some Skippy nut butter packets and a couple that were in my resupply box that my wife sent me. Thanks, honey. Got some pumpkin seeds, some mixed nuts. I got a Knorr cheddar and broccoli rice side, some Snickers bars. These I started eating these while I'm hiking, in between my stop, the times I stop for a meal. Just a little extra energy, some sugar, some carbs, a little bit of protein from the nuts. They're easy to pop in your mouth and just eat one while you're hiking. So I'll have like 3 or 4 during the day while I'm hiking. Fritos, I like to crush those up and put them in my food. Some chickpeas, which I'll mix in with the pumpkin seeds and the deluxe mixed nuts. Triscuits, because I've only got 6 wraps for the nut butters, so I will use Triscuits when I feel like something crunchy. Got some mashed potatoes. I only use the mashed potatoes when I'm blending it with one of these rice sides or any of these meals. If they come out watery, if I put too much water in, I put a spoonful or 2 of mashed potato mix in, thickens it right up, gives it some extra flavor, some extra carbs. It's great. The edamame, also to mix that with the chickpeas and the nuts and the seeds. I got some Pedialyte for electrolytes. It says good for kids and adults, right? So I got some of that to try that, and some Gatorade Zero. I already showed you that. We got some breakfast bars, these protein bars, which I use for breakfast on the trail. Some extra Snickers that were left over from last time. This is extra nuts and granola left over from last time. The Met RX bars. This has corn chowder. It's actually mashed potatoes that I transferred because this is not a resealable packet. So I put it in one of my meal pouches. Some powdered cheese to add to my meals. I'm just trying to use that up. It's stuff I had left over from home. Extra virgin olive oil, which I also add to each meal. I put an ounce or 2, maybe ounce and a half in each meal. Just some extra fat, some extra flavor, extra calories. Cheddar, little blocks of cheddar. I'll take those on the trail and have those for snacks for the first 3 or 4 days because, of course, I can't refrigerate them. So I worry about them going bad after about 3 or 4 days. Some extra grains. This is quinoa, spelt, and rice all mixed in. I'll just throw that into each of the dinners I have, just to use this up, give it a little bit of extra texture, flavor. This is TVP, textured vegetable protein. I will add this most likely to these Noir sides because these are just mostly carbs. They're rice, pasta with some sauce. So I'll add that in there for the extra protein. And then I have my powdered mixed drinks, my energy drinks, and then my electrolytes, which I will add, of course, these things to it. So anyway, that's everything. And here's the crazy part. All that has to fit into this bag. So that's the question. Can I fit all of this into this bag? It's going to be a lot of repacking, a lot of getting rid of packaging and condensing things down, but I'm going to give it my best shot. So I'll do that now, and then I'll come back and we'll see how I did. All right, so I finished condensing down all that food that I showed you a moment ago. I'm going to show you now how it looks. So here's all that food that was there before, with one exception. I have one refrigerated item. I'll pull that out here just so you don't think I'm cheating. That's my cheese. So that's everything that you saw before that's been condensed down. The wraps are the same. Those dinners, I've condensed them all down into pint-sized Ziploc bags. Okay, I didn't label them. I don't really care on the trail. I just pick it up and say that looks good. The olive oil I've transferred into a plastic non-breakable bottle with a screw top. The Fritos, I've crushed those down and put them into a Ziploc bag. That's an entire bag of Fritos. That's what's left of it when you crush it down. Those peanut butters are all now in their own Ziploc bag. All of my protein bars. The Noir rice sides I leave alone because they're already well sealed. I can just tear them open and dump them into my cook pot. My Snickers, those are all in a quart-sized Ziploc bag. I've portioned out my Triscuits into 4 separate bags, and this one I've added the peanut butter packets to it. That one will be lunch, my first day back on the trail tomorrow. There's the cheese, as I just showed you. There's the mashed potatoes. It's a little baggie. The TVP, as it was before. The quinoa and spelt, I've taken about half of that, about a spoonful in each of my dinners to use up some of that. And I've also used up all of the cheese powder, added it to all my dinners, so that cheese powder bag is gone. Here we have my electrolytes. This is the Gatorade and Propel. These are the energy electrolytes. These are the Pedialyte electrolytes, and these are some Crystal Light lemonades I had left over. And then, of course, I have the mixed nuts, the wasabi peas, the pumpkin seeds, and the chickpeas. Those I've split between 2 different bags, quart-sized bags, so I'll have those on the trail as well. This is probably about 4 days. Each one of these is probably a good 3-4 days of snacking on the trail. So I've got over at least a week, possibly 8 days or so. So the question is, can all of that still fit into my Ursack food bag? So we're going to find out here right now. Okay, I'm here in my hotel room. I've got my food laid out, and I've got my Ursack. This is my food bag here. This is a bear-proof or bear-resistant sack. And I have here a bag. This is called a Nilofume bag. This is a bag that they use in homes that are being fumigated. So you can put things that are delicate or things like food items and things you don't want to get affected by the fumigation. You put them in a Nilofume bag. The reason I use this is a liner for the bear bag. This not only keeps all my food dry because it's waterproof, whereas this is not waterproof. More importantly, this is smell proof, right? It's going to keep the fumes out if you're fumigating your home. It's also going to keep the smells inside, at least more so than it otherwise would. So I use this as a liner inside my Ursack. It's a little noisy and crinkly. I'm going to put it inside. I'm going to, because it's longer than the Ursack, I'm going to roll the top down like that. So now stuffed out my Ursack. We're going to see if all this food is going to fit. I did not pre-game this, so I have not already tested it to see if it's all going to fit. So this may be a terrible idea. We're going to find out. I usually put my dinners in first because that's the last thing I eat in the day, of course. So there's one dinner. I'm going to take this wristband off actually because it's rubber and it catches on the nylon bag, and I want to keep catching my hand. There's two. I'll put two more in. That'll be four. I'm trying to like organize them in there a little bit, like a little puzzle, packing them in side by side. There's a fifth one, sixth one. Those are my 6 dinners that I have. These Noir rice sides are also dinners. I'll go ahead and put those in. Now I'm going to put the olive oil in because I like to get that down there and pack things around it so it stays standing up. The top is pretty good, but I don't like the idea of it like tipping over inside the bag. Things possibly leaking. I'll put the Fritos in next. Okay, get that in there good. All right, so let's see. I guess I'll do the spelt and rice bag and the TVP and the mashed potatoes. But those are all dinner related things. All right, this is where it kind of gets interesting. I think I'll do the mixed nuts and seeds and whatnot for snacking on the trail. I'll put those 2 in. And I'll put the peanut butters in kind of down next to those a little bit. I don't know if you can see the bag kind of filling out here as I do this. All right. I'm trying to save the Triscuits for last on top so they don't get crushed. I guess I'll put my Builder's bars, my protein bars. That's what I have for breakfast. Well, hold on a second. Just see what I got room for here. Yeah, I can kind of get that in there. Let's see, what next? Let's put the Snickers in next, why not? Oops, I got a lot of air in this bag. Let me squeeze some of the air out of that bag. Another thing, you don't want a lot of air because that just takes up space, it wastes space. So let's compress a little better. Okay, that's in there. Now I guess we'll put the wrap in, just kind of lay that flat as like a layer in there. Just trying to arrange it so it's not all squished up and folding onto itself. Trying to keep things neat a little bit. And it's gonna be close. Put the cheeses in next, I guess. You know what? I'm gonna take out a couple of cheeses because I'll have them. I'll have them tomorrow on the trail. I don't need everything in here. And I don't need this Triscuits with the peanut butter. I'll take that on the trail as well. Okay. So, cheese. Now my electrolytes and energy drinks, all my powdered drinks. Getting right up to the top here. And then my Triscuits. I got 3 of these. And now I can take this. I'm going to close this off. I'm going to twist it down and tuck it inside. So now I got my Ursack. That's my food for 7 or 8 days, actually. Believe it or not, I'm going to. Oops! What happened was the cords came out. Let me rethread that through. It actually makes it easier to fill it when you don't have the cords threaded through the other side. You have to crisscross the cords to tie this off. So I'm going to tie that off, and as you can see, I just managed to get all of that food. Oh, it's heavy. This is so heavy. This has got to be a good 14, 15 pounds, I'm thinking. This is like a baby. This is heavy. That's going to be a heavy backpack tomorrow, man. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to be walking out of here with 30, 32 pounds on my back, even though I've saved some weight with the sleeping bag, switching the sleeping bag. Yeah, I'm gonna be heavy coming out of here. So I may have to do a shorter day tomorrow. I was thinking I was gonna go to Mount Greylock. It's over 17 miles, and it's a lot of uphill, like miles and miles of just straight uphill. I think it's like 6, 7, 8 miles of just uphill, 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 uphill. It's the highest point in Massachusetts. So I might not make it that far tomorrow. I don't know. I may have to rethink that with all this weight. But anyway, as you can see, I did get it all in here, as remarkable as that is, and I'll be ready to go in the morning. I just want to give a quick shout out to Jenny. Hi Jenny, thank you so much for buying me a beer, treating me to a beer. I went to Kelly's package store where they have an amazing selection of craft beers, and I got the Hazy. This is by Building 8 Brewing Company in Florence, Massachusetts here. And I love hazy New England IPAs, so that sounded really good. It's actually called the Hazy, and I poured it. And as you can see, it is a bit hazy. Oh my gosh, it's almost like juice. It's got so much citra hops and some of those hops that give it that New England style juicy IPA flavor. That's a really good IPA. I really like that. So thank you, Jenny. And I've been getting questions. People are like, how are people buying you a beer? What's that all about? You have to look down in the description of my videos. There's a link down there that says treat me to a beer. I think you contribute $5 through a website, and most of that comes to me. They keep a small portion of it, but most of it comes to me, and I get a notification someone bought you a beer, and I get so excited. I know it sounds stupid, $5 or whatever for a beer, and these were $5 at the package store. But I get so excited when I see, oh, someone bought me a beer, and I get so excited. I look forward to going to the next town and looking for a beer I've never had before. So thank you again, Jenny. This is the one I bought with your contribution. And Jenny, by the way, met my wife down in Pine Grove Furnace when she went down to see Heather Anish Anderson give a talk down there. So Jenny, thanks again. I appreciate it. I'm glad you got to meet my wife, and thank you for the treat. I really look forward to it. Thanks.